none of this is like, oh, you're doomed. Like, that's the thing. Some people are scared of their birth charts because they think they're going to, like, find out some sort of thing that can never be addressed in their life. The whole point of the birth chart is to give you more information to work with. Seventh house time.
Which is Libra?
Libra. Classic Libra being the seventh house sign. Seventh house being the house of marriage, committed partnerships of any sort.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all that's really going down in house 7. It's like me and you, man. Whoever that you is. It could be a business partner.
Get ready.
It could be your spouse.
Get ready.
It could be that best friend.
Get ready.
That you're like codependent with.
Okay, wow.
Like,
I mean, it's true, but
it could be any of it. It could be your mom. Like, it's just that, like, look, we're in this. We have to do this.
And we're going to stay in this.
It's about balance. It's about justice. It's about fairness, reciprocity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's 7th house. You don't have anything in your 7th house.
Okay.
Actually, that's a lie. I'm sorry. I lied. I spoke too soon. You actually have Mars in your 7th house.
Which means?
Mars is the planet of action.
Oh, okay.
It's a planet of action, and now here's another hot debate in the astrology world. Mars has been labeled a malefic planet, a negative planet.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so that's kind of bad
like,
with relationships like that?
It's kind of bad. But it's
okay.
None of this is like, oh, you're doomed. Like, that's the thing. Some people are scared of their birth charts because they think they're going to, like, find out some sort of thing that can never be addressed in their life. The whole point of the birth chart is to give you more information to work with. So, some people say Mars is a malefic planet. But really, I just think that Mars indicates that there is a struggle that takes place in this area of your life, of whatever sort. Some sort of obstacle. Yeah. But it also means that this is something that you take action on. Mars is the planet of action. Like, not just the planet of war, but the planet of, it's the planet that rules Aries. So the Aries energy of, like, doing is put into your 7th house, which is interesting. I think you are meant to take action in this part of your life. That you are meant to be the initiator in your committed partnerships.
And I have kind of seen that in some of my, like, stronger friendships where that I do definitely I've started to make sure I bring up problems, or, like, I keep people accountable, and, like, that's how my relationships stay strong, or that's how I feel closer to a person, because I know, like, oh,
that's how you feel better in it. It's like, I'm taking control here, taking agency.
Yeah. Cool.
Love it. 8th house time. So the 8th house, let me just
Jameson,
I can just get this piece of paper, Jameson. Excuse me.
Porter.
So the 8th house is an interesting house. Scorpio's house.
Oh, Scorpio.
Scorpio's house.
I love Scorpios.
I'm glad. A lot of mixed feelings.
I know.
Rise.
But the Scorpios I know are just good people.
Good people? Well, that's good. I mean, you don't have there's not a lot of energy.
Plus, they're my sister sign.
True.
So.
Gotta have love for the sister sign.
Yeah.
Aquarius. Let's do this. But okay, so Scorpio, 8th house. So the 8th house is the house of secrets and of mystery and of, like, magic, of sex, but, like, the more, like, sex, not like sex, but like sex. And historically also like other people's resources, which is interesting. So like inheritances, gifts, how you work with other people's shit. Like if you're always at someone else's house, or people are always buying you food or something, then you might have like some stuff in your 8th house. If you get like a good ass inheritance, if you're from that intergenerational wealth, then that's an 8th house stuff.
Not us.
Doesn't happen to be our experience, but
not this lifetime. Not this lifetime.
Interesting though is
okay, got these theatrics
within the Placidus system. Now, if we're doing whole sign, it's a different story.
Okay.
Take note. But within Placidus, Pluto is in your 8th house, which is huge.
What does that mean?
So Pluto is a very special planet. You and I are both part of the Pluto and Sagittarius generation. Pluto and Sagittarius generation is the coolest fucking generation to hit the scene. Let me tell you. So your Pluto's in Sag, my Pluto's in Sag. Pluto takes like, what is it like? I think decades to move from sign to sign.
Oh, really?
So we're part of a large generation.
Yeah.
But I'm at the very beginning of it. So anyone who was born, I think like a year more than me. So I'm 96. If anyone's born like 95 and before, then you're Pluto and Scorpio. So like we are kind of like this new lovely hip generation. But so your Pluto is in Sagittarius, but within the Placidus system, it's in your 8th house. And Pluto is the planet of power and transformation and like dramatic endings and beginnings.
Oh my gosh.
And manipulation.
Oh my gosh.
Pluto is like the super jazzy planet. I love Pluto. It's currently retrograde in Capricorn.
Classic.
Doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Classic.
But so for Pluto to be in your 8th house is kind of like, girl, you need to figure out how to use this, you know?
Okay.
Like, you need to know how to use this like shadowy power you have when it comes to secrets, other people's money, sex. So, 9th house, my favorite house. My favorite house of all the houses.
Okay, why?
Because it's ruled by Sagittarius, which is my rising.
Okay.
And it's an energy that I like hold deep. It's the house of travel. I love traveling, as you know.
Yes, you do.
It's the house.
You're like literally always leaving.
I'm literally always leaving. It is also about spirituality and higher education, but not in like that boring, outdated sense of like academia. Fuck that. It's about higher education. It's about learning in a true way. Learning for your spirit. Learning for your soul. It's about like wisdom and shamans and like existential awakenings.
Wow.
It's a absolutely beautiful house. So let's talk about the 10th house.
The 10th house. Well, okay, wait. How do you see that playing with me though?
In your
the 9th house, Sagittarius.
But that's what I'm saying, because if we're talking aspects, which is the only way that we get there.
Okay,
because you don't have the planets there.
Okay.
I could talk more about the Pluto and Sagittarius generation.
No.
Okay.
No, we don't care about them. That's not me.
That is you.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Your Pluto is in Sagittarius.
Just kidding. We do care.
So the Pluto and Sagittarius. Okay, so just if you think about what I said about Pluto, power, transformation, and you think about what I said about Sagittarius, which is like higher education, wisdom, spiritual, learning, travel. So where we as a generation find our power is through this sort of wisdom. It's through this energy, this really lovely, joyous energy. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. No, I can see that too. Like, we're kind of rejecting some of the things that we are learning in school right now, especially, and so I can see that playing out too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're unconventional.
We are.
I mean,
we are.
It's really beautiful. You 10th house. 10th house is a major house.
We're
Just
almost
thought
there,
I'd
by
let
the way.
you know.
There's only...
there's only 12 houses. I mean,
Yeah.
you're editing this. It's not going to feel so arduous. 10th house is the midheaven.
Midheaven.
Historically ruled by Capricorn. It is the house of, like, success, career, it's kind of like similar to North Node energy, but outside of, like, just all the things you're supposed to be learning in your life, it's more so how do you manifest, like, professionally in the world, as, like, a public image, as a person. What's your reputation, you know? So your 10th house falls in Capricorn because you're an Aries rising. And that energy is, it's just like tradition, things like that. You don't have anything in your 10th house, so no worries. Just keep it moving.
Cool, yeah.
Your 11th house, Aquarius. It's the house of, like...
Okay, but wait. I'm sorry. But having Capricorn in there...
Yeah.
And career, right? Because Capricorn is very
career-oriented. Yeah.
So since I have those together, that means I'm career-oriented, or, like...
I mean, it means that you have cosmic support.
Okay.
For your professional life.
Okay. Cool.
That's all it really means. It adds up. It's not going to make it more difficult.
Okay.
The building blocks are there.
The building blocks are the foundation.
The foundation. The foundation remains.
Awesome.
Yes. And then Aquarius, 11th house stuff.
And we've already talked Aquarius, very alien.
Very collective minded.
So, like, socialist?
Kind of some socialist shit. Yeah, we zoom out. We're like, look, I'm just trying to take care of everyone, but I don't really care about you as an individual, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Aquarians are more like, I love humanity. Humans, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Aquarius energy. And it's cool because, so you have your Uranus and Neptune there. And those are weird planets. Uranus is an eccentric planet. It's like... I'm gonna jazz this up for you. I'm gonna bring about, like, some unexpected shifts. And that's, like, so the 11th house is like your community at large.
Okay.
So, like, 3rd house is, like, community small. Like, these are my friends, these are my neighbors. 7th house is, like, community on a one-on-one sense.
Okay.
And then 11th house is
wow.
What groups are you a part of?
And so that's all air signs too, right?
All air signs.
Okay.
Yep. See, there's all these things. It's such a beautiful, perfect map. Where everything adds up. It's lovely. So yeah, Aquarius is more like, you belong to the Black community. You belong to the LGBTQ community. I belong to Democratic Socialists of America. I belong, it's it's like a
these
large
are my
things, my networks. It's a networks section.
Okay. Cool.
And so you also have Neptune there, which is like a planet of illusions.
Ooh.
So some of your communities might, like, elude you, or, like, there might be some weird energy, like, you know, when you join a community and everyone, like, seems super cool, but then you're like, the guy who runs this is, like, fucking weird, and then, like, this happens and stuff happens, you're like, I'm gonna need to go, like, that might happen.
You know what, y'all, never mind. I'm gonna just, like,
I'm just gonna take a step back. And the thing about Aquarius is that they have no problem being like, not
right.
Never mind.
Y'all have thoughts.
Sorry.
Y'all really thoughts.
All works out there.
Cool.
And then finally, the 12th house. Pisces, the collective of all of the signs into one big watery ocean of mess in the cosmos and the unconscious mind.
Y'all, I'm really sad because when I first went into my chart and stuff, like a couple years ago, I put in the wrong time, and I thought I was a Pisces rising, and I think I put like 3:30 a.m. when it's really 4:35 a.m. So it was only an hour, and that's why you have to be like really careful about like what times, because it does really change things. But yeah, I thought I was a Pisces rising for like 2 years, and I really was like, oh yeah, I'm a Pisces rising, oh my god. And then it's like, I was wrong. And I can actually kind of see it. Like, I can see, and I think that's also weird because it's like, as you grow and as you grow up and as you change, different things come up. And so it's like, maybe 2 years ago I kind of felt like that, but that's also when I was in an environment that I was like not as comfortable in, and now I'm feeling a little bit more myself, and I'm an Aries rising. So
what's also interesting is that you get a new annual perfection chart every birthday.
I don't know what that means,
exactly.
But cool.
So on your birthday, of course, all of the planets are somewhere each birthday.
Yes.
And so it also gives you some sort of insight as to how your next year will go, to see like what your rising is this year. You know.
Oh. And so is that like a different
It's different
calculator?
every year.
No, I know, but like,
you can do it on the same sites that you would find these things on.
Okay.
But yeah, so you just say where you were on that birthday, because location still matters.
Okay.
And it still needs to be the exact time.
So
like it has to be your
4:35.
exact solar return.
Yes.
So where the sun is at the exact aspect as where it was when you were born.
Okay.
Where are the other planets now?
Okay.
Like for instance, last year, my solar return chart gave me a Libra rising. So for the next year, I kind of have like Libra rising energy.
Okay.
Where I'm like focused on Libra shit all of a sudden, when that's never been my thing. But I look back over the past year,
And you're like,
and I'm like, oh my god, I was so palatable to people and nice and like judicious. And I like held my tongue.
She said, I don't do that.
And I don't do that. I don't do that at all. But it's been a nice lesson as to how this goes, because we all have all the signs in our charts.
There we go. So let's finish this up. 12th house, Pisces.
Yeah, they're just kind of like a watery mess. They're these fish that are in like this like infinity relationship with oneself. It's like all the signs put together, and now you're this hyper enlightened but also confused person.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you're like, you can't just have all of this stuff in here and not be like, whoa, zonked out. Because that's like Pisces. It's the ocean. It's where everything comes and where the abyss of the zodiac presents itself. It's the unconscious mind for you because it lies in your 12th house. The 12th house is like, what was happening right before you were born, kind of. You think of it as death, but at the same time, you think of it as pre-birth. Because, I mean, what is death if not a pre-birth?
Wow, okay.
So it has both of those conflicting, like, initiatory, but also endings. Like, it's a very transformational sign. It's a dreamy sign. And that's what's going on in your 12th, which makes perfect sense, which is why it's really easy, I think, for Aries risings to move through the astrological world. Because things like
kind of
Pisces energy does make sense for you in this way. And it should manifest in your life in the way that Pisces wants to.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Kind of.
Like, for instance, to help. Maybe.
Thank you. Yes.
Pisces falls in my 4th house of family. So a lot of the feelings I have about family, I feel like I have a lot of subliminal, like subconscious energy with it. Like, what does this mean? It's all like sitting in the back of my head and it's like waiting to be unfurled. And I see our family life as like this puzzle I need to put together. Whereas I feel like that's not how you feel about family. That's not the energy that you're giving to family, because you have Cancer energy, and you're just like, I'm just trying to like
keep us
love
together.
my fam and be the glue and do what I need to do to make sure we all feel good. And I'm just like, but what happened when I was 6? And like, you know,
whereas I'm like, I'll just forget it. It's fine. Like, it's fine. You know,
So,
we're here and now.
Yeah. Because my rising is also a fire rising, everything shifts in a way that is kind of
similar.
Like all of the fires fall in the fire,
yes.
the air on the air.
So it's still water.
Exactly. So it's still Scorpio, which is still like
mysterious
energy that makes sense for my 12th house.
Okay.
So it's nice.
Yeah. But thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. Like, I feel like I did get some of the things I wanted from it, and I also got some things that I wasn't necessarily expecting, but it was still like a good conversation.
I'm just glad we got to talk.
Me too, because you have been learning so much lately. Like, so context, right now we are still like quarantining, right? Yeah. Like going out just for groceries, basically, seeing people social distancing wise, and so it's just like a lot of time to learn about new things. And Kay has just been learning about astrology and tarot. Yeah, like you're gonna see a tarot reading soon, and so somatic healing, everything. So all things kind of like spiritual, I would say. But so it's cool to have that too and see what you're learning and stuff. So thanks for watching this video. I hope that you kind of learned more about astrology that like actually feels nice, because I know like astrology right now is very like on trend, very like, what's your sign, right? But I think there's a lot more to it than people really think. And I hope that you felt this was a fulfilling and entertaining video. Like if you want to, comment your sun, moon, and rising if you want to.
Let me know if I'm wrong about anything. If you
check her.
I love to learn.
Yes,
I'm here to learn.
We're here to learn. And also subscribe, because I'm gonna have a lot of other videos that are spiritual, wellness, do it yourself kind of things. But yeah, thanks for checking it out, and have an amazing rest of your day.
Bye.